Welcome to Parkchester. For the next few minutes, we're going to take you on a tour of one of the most exciting communities in the city of New York. A community that's in many ways more like the suburbs than the city. A community of 129 acres of lawns, fountains, landscape parks. So you see, Parkchester is a truly desirable place to live. Yes, this is Parkchester. Parkchester offers a little bit of sanity and a ray of hope. So, to all of our friends and visitors, we say, welcome to Parkchester. Live here and enjoy the good life.
Quickly before the nurse comes back. The social
Welcome to Lifestyles of the Impoverished and Sick.
Welcome to television's unchallenged authority on wealth, prestige, and success. It's another dazzling Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Here I have the TV I can't afford to put on. It's a full 15 inches, like my laptop. Here's a phone with 2 receivers to confuse people who are drugged. My palatial storage of snacks. And the latest in privacy control. A curtain. Oops, sorry.
Somebody there?
Yes. I didn't realize the neighbors had moved in. You look like a social worker.
Action.
Are you Mr. Collins?
You got it right. Yeah, great.
Joe, it looks like you're being like you're being sentenced to death. Like they're gonna take, you're like strapped down at every point.
Yes, this will be my 3rd lethal injection.
You're killing me, Joe. You're killing me.
And so this concludes Lifestyles of the Broken and Weak.
Sorry.
Here we go.
Oh boy. Yeah, hold that. Jesus.
I survive everything.
you're pretty much, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, you're kind of like the last standing white guy in Parkchester.
I'm probably the last original.
Right.
The history of Parkchester and my family go way back together. I grew up here. I was born in Brooklyn, but they brought me home to Parkchester. My father moved from City Island to Parkchester when he was 6. And he grew up here. And my grandfather helped build Parkchester. That's how we got in here. They let the shanty Irish who actually worked on Parkchester get apartments here. My grandfather ordered project materials for Parkchester. So he was the guy responsible for getting the brick, the steel, the wire, the lathing. He had a construction background. And even though he was kind of a low-class donkey Irishman, he was allowed to get an apartment in Parkchester.
Well, there's got to be, the fact that you could lose your home in Parkchester, it's not easy to sleep at night some nights.
Oh, yeah. I'm on all kinds of antidepressants, Valium, Cymbalta, gabapentin, which is a kind of Neurontin, which is supposed to be good for my nerve damage from diabetes, as well as a mood stabilizer. I'm actually on it for mood stabilization more than for its neuropathy value. So, yeah. If disability had come through, at least I'd know where I stood. But I've been fighting with them since 2012, so that's like 5 years. And I still don't know if, when, or how I'm going to get my disability, nor how much I'm going to get. I could get nothing. I could get $200 a month, which won't even cover the maintenance.
Right, because I know sometimes just sitting down, you grimace. I see you grimacing in pain. Just sitting. Yeah,
right now I'm in such pain from my back.
Yeah, it's not easy for you to go to the store. It's not like you just grab your keys and shoes. It's like it's a whole thing to go to the store.
Oh yeah. Right. Amongst the other things they broke, I now have rather bad incontinence. The painkillers I'm on are causing me constipation. I think I've actually been spared being evicted because since Mom passed away, we haven't had any money to pay the maintenance. And at this time, I owe somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000 back maintenance. Owe about $4,000 in taxes. So I have this sword of Damocles hanging over my head. I don't know when it's going to fall, how it's going to fall, what I'll be able to get out of it. I'm hoping, something comes through. Of course, now that I've talked about it on videotape, I'll probably be on the street next week.
You'll get final editing approval. I don't want to put anything out there that's going to fuck your life up either.
No, I mean, this isn't going to fuck my life up.
Right.
What's fucking my life up is my life.
Right. Do what you have to do.
Oh, Bebo. Bebo. Bro. Hey, baby girl. You big fat bastard and baby girl. This is baby girl. This is Yolandi. Yolandi. But it's like this fucking environment. It's so in contrast.
Since episode 1 of Parkchester,
Yes.
Joe has been in physical decline. He's
Yes.
been losing mobility.
Yes, I mean that's a theme you approach in this a lot of times, yeah.
Yeah, he since we last left you guys in episode 8,
Yeah.
Joe has lost a lot of body parts,
Yeah.
and he lost. But I don't know what's it. I don't even know what the procedure's called. Where they saw it off.
They saw off the bone. They saw off the back of the vertebra.
Yeah, so he's like losing body parts, and he can't easily walk around anymore
No.
without grimacing in pain.
Yes. Yes. He's not even deluding himself about being immortal anymore.
Right. Is it? I mean, would it say something about just Joe? Just it's harder for him to get around these days.
Well, I mean, you definitely focus on it's harder for him to get around these days, and he's lost bone and he's lost toes, but he's also lost a tremendous amount of weight, and it's not just body parts being cut off. No, he's lost he's at this lowest weight since I met him, and so that's got to take a lot of burden off his body. I mean, Jesus H Christ. I mean, he was like when I came back here, he was 300 pounds. For his height, that's overweight. Like pretty overweight, and then he said for 10 years he was 350 pounds. A lot of what's fucked up Joe, his parents, his mother and father, died, north of 70, and they started seeing problems in their 60s, problems like he had in their 60s, and Joe is 47 years old, and he's having a breakdown harder than what they had in their 60s. And he's got bad genes to start with. Both of them had the same problems, the diabetes, the overweight, the mental issues. He's breaking down a lot faster than Mom and Dad, and that's kind of scary. I mean, it's good that he's losing weight and everything, but I mean, I tried to push him to hey, take this as a serious shock and change your diet and change your habits. And he poo-poo, blah blah, no, nah. I'm gonna have beans, fake cheese, and hot dogs every night, and he does.
Tell me the story.
Yeah.
Of how you guys met for the first time.
Sure. Yeah. I ran away to New York. I was in high school for a year. No, a couple of months. And
how old were you?
I was
15, 16?
17.
Okay.
And I came to New York to see my sister, and she had gotten me into Columbus, which was actually technically out of district, so real clever there. And I was there for a couple of months before I finally dropped out in my 12th grade year. But before that happened, or during that whole year, the year 18, 17, Joe was 2 years older. He graduated high school, and he came by to start an improv troupe. My sister is in high school. I've dropped out of the high school after a couple of months, and this guy came in with a list, I think, to music classes or some of his classes. He got permission to do it, and Keelan was one of several students who signed up to do improv classes with Joe. Joe had graduated 2 years earlier. And so, he took us downtown, he took us to a cool bar. It was the first time I'd ever been served in a bar before. I was 17, those were different times. No one else showed up but her. And then she brought me along because she knew I was into improv acting because I'd done a lot of it in high school. And so we took it to this place in Starrett City, and we did videos, and at the time, I could, have people busting a gut all over the floor as long as I had a straight man. So Keelan played my straight man, and fed me the goofy, and it was really. And Joe came. There were other people, other friends of his with other people, other students from other schools, and Joe was like, when he saw the videotape, he was just like, "You guys are great! You guys are great! I love you guys! You guys are great!" He was so excited. He was 20.
Right.
And so he took us out to a bar. He used to heckle the comedians. And Keelan and I would get all like, "Oh," and he'd be like, "No, it's part of the thing, It's how they do it, and he was never mean or anything. And so to us, he was like this cool guy who was going to be the funny fat guy or the comedy writer. And, when we fell out of contact through a series of complex events, I always just assumed he was a comedy writer. Since I hadn't seen him on TV, I assumed he was a comedy writer somewhere. That's just how I thought of him, you know. He was more of Keelan's friend anyway, you know.
But
funny fat guy who was going to be the next John Belushi or a comedy writer.
Right.
Then I ran into him in 2009.
So that was like a 20-year gap or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll do, pig.
This is part of my documentary.
The life of the broken gem.
What?
Sitting on flapped open door on the back of a pickup truck. Dirt ruts roll under my dangling bare feet. Passing fields high and green, far away, a band of dark sky. The sun